take advantage of some of the resources that Tanya and team and the campus put together for you all. My name is Annie Weinschenk, and I am joined by Diamond Fraser, who I think just joined, and Rasha Antar. We basically do a lot with the University of Maryland. We can go to the next slide, Rasha. Obviously, we're on the stadium, but we do a lot more than that, right? So we're Maryland's largest credit union. We do a lot of specific promotions with the University of Maryland, whether it's student, staff, faculty, alumni, community members, fans, to make sure that we're meeting your needs. I want you all to feel when you leave here that you have a direct line, whether that's through me, Rasha, or Diamond. We are all here to help and support you on your financial journey. Um, so CQ used to be, right, the State Employees Credit Union. Hi, Diamond. See your beautiful face. And it still very much is, right? But credit unions are so special and so important that they really added a lot of different ways to be able to join, right? So there are over 1,900 ways to join CQ. And I'll get into some of the benefits of a credit union, but we're actually it's called cooperative banking, right? And so what that means is we are able to reinvest in our community and in our members and what they need, right? So right now we do have a promotion. If you open a CQ checking account with us, you get $350. And you can choose a really fun TERP debit card, either the TERP script or the M. And there's no fees, no minimum balance requirements, things like that. However, you are required to do two direct deposits of $500 to get that. But we do offer really good lower rates and fewer fees than your traditional commercial banks. Nothing wrong with commercial banking. We love commercial banks, but credit unions just kind of offer you a different type of benefit, right? We also have our virtual financial center. You will see the beautiful Diamond on the call. Hi, Diamond. This is one of CQ's best kept secrets, and we will not be keeping it for secret very long because it is open till 8 p.m. and you can bank from your desk. You can bank from your bed. You can bank from your house. You don't have to go to a financial center, but we do have over 22 financial centers across the state of Maryland. And like I said, we're committed to this community. We're committed to the University of Maryland and within the entire system of Maryland. I am the senior manager of university relations, and Rasha is my fearless companion. And Diamond, do you want to give a little intro real quick to this group?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So yes, I am Diamond Fraser. I am currently in the virtual financial center and I am a 8 p.m.er today. So if you needed any help at all, I am here until 8. To Annie's point, definitely top of the line with the virtual center. Some of our best financial advisors ever are there, and I'm not being biased. I have been in finance. This year will mark 10 years. So I love everything from savings, budgeting, investing. I've done it all. And so, yeah, I'm excited to be here and to talk to you all about just different things that we offer and to help you on your goals.
All right. So, Russia, we're going to do a little game, a little Kahoot to see how much you all know about personal finance. So, Rasha, do you want to pull up the Kahoot game? The top three winners will get a $15 Amazon gift card. Now, Tanya, I think you saw somebody's chats asking if we can add captions. Okay.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out how to do that one.
This is good though, because we'll learn for next time. So thank you so much for that. And while we're waiting for the Kahoot game, okay, here it is. So go ahead and play this. These gift cards will come to your email. Okay, make sure you claim them. Sometimes people don't claim their gift cards. Got to get that money. Although I'd like to pick a different company than Amazon. What else? Where do people like to go besides Amazon? Give me some ideas. Amazon, Target, gas station. I should do gas cards. Real, you're very helpful on this call. Thank you. Gas cards, grocery. Yes. Why am I not thinking of that? I got to find a way to get that out to you all. So anybody else that wants to join, go ahead and get in here.
Does anybody know where I would find the captions?
There's like a button that I can click that allows me to put the captions on, but for some reason I can't see it either.
Yeah,
Oops.
let's see.
I just did something. All right, we'll go ahead and get started on this. On this game, is everyone registered and ready to go? All right, let's start it. Yeah, you both are winners. So, yeah, that is what happened at a recent UMBC one that we did. That is what happened also. Rasha, do you want to hit? Okay, here we go. Okay, what is the best way to save your money? Roll up coins and take it to Coinstar, play the lottery, find saving products with good rates, hide it under your mattress. A Coinstar will take a lot of your money, just be aware. Obviously, that was easy. There you go. Good job, guys. You already know. True or false? A need is a mandatory expense and a want is a discretionary cost. Needs and wants. Need is a mandatory expense and a want is a discretionary cost. True or false? That's okay. Well, real knows because the Kahoot situation is accuracy and quickness. So, yeah. True or false? There's no difference between a bank and a credit union. No difference. False. Good job. You guys were listening already. That's right. So, we don't have a publicly traded board at the end of the day. What's the best benefit of a credit union? Lower rates, fewer fees, community involvement, member owned, better borrowing rates, or all of the above? That's right. All the above. And we are about to open our 2025 scholarship, which I'll talk about in a little bit. What impacts your credit score the most? Late payments, no credit, soft inquiries, or being an authorized user on your parents' credit cards. Obviously, you all are professionals. I don't know if you're still authorized users, but late payments. Got to watch that. Watch those dates. Budgeting is the best way to financial security. True or false? That's right. Can't live up here. Right, Diamond? You got to put it on paper. If it lives in your head, it's not a budget, right? A good strategy for paying off your debt is starting with the highest interest products first, or the highest credit products first. Yes, that's right. Let's see the podium. I mean, these winners. And if you could put your email addresses in the chat, we'll send the gift card out to you. Yay! The winner, Chris. All right, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, you'll get it. Just make sure you open your email. It's not spam, we promise. And then Rasha is gonna open up the presentation and we'll get into it. Thank you for participating. Virtual presentations are tough sometimes, right? Because it's like, how do you stay engaged? Some of you are eating your lunch, some of you are like working, multitasking, so it's hard. So we just talked about budgeting, but we can go to the next one. What is a budget, right? So a budget is a roadmap. Where do you want to go? How are you going to get there? We can go to the next slide. A lot of times when I'm talking to students, professionals, they're like, yeah, no, I've got it. It's all up here. And that's actually not a budget. And in 2025, even if you're writing it on a notepad and writing it down, that's better than having it live up here, right? There's so many tools, there's so many apps. But really the breakdown is needs, wants, and savings. What do you need? What I need is different than what you need, right? But the basic needs are housing, food, gas, right? Wants. My wants are different than your wants, right? I like to get my nails done, so I have to budget for that. Maybe you all like to get your hair done. You got to budget for that. When the wants start to creep so high that they start impacting you negatively, that's when it's time to pull up and say, what can I kind of pare down? But it's not my job to say, don't go to Starbucks, right? So just be aware of where your money is going each month. And then savings. So 20% of your income should go to savings. And Diamond's really going to talk through savings products that credit unions can offer you that can be helpful. So we can go to the next slide. So the way to kind of get into budgeting and start, you're going to set some long and short-term goals. Maybe it's summer vacation. I want to go to Europe and you're going to need 10 grand. How are you going to get there, right? Each paycheck, you're going to take $100 or $150, and what are you going to do with that? Or maybe it's a CD, or maybe it's a money market, and we'll kind of get into that. But we're also not trying to have you set up to fail, right? We want you to be set up for success. So what's realistic? If you're constantly saying, oh, I want to buy a cyber truck and you can't afford the payments, that's not going to be great, right? So, what is a realistic goal for you and what feels right based on your lifestyle? This is so important. People say, "Yeah, I just won't get my nails done. I just won't go to the gym." If you need for your mental health to go to the gym and exercise and do the things that you need to do, if you know you want to eat organic and you don't want to, cut corners at, some of the different grocery stores, that's great. That is you. But you need to take care of yourself. If you know that, there are expenses that are important to your lifestyle, make sure you're being realistic about that. Savings is so important. Nothing, if you don't have savings, it can be really tricky. And then finally, track your spending. So each month, there's tons of resources out there. We'll get into that, but write it down. Where you go? Are you going out to dinner 4 times a week? That's probably not going to help with your goals, right? But maybe you can cut back to once a week, right? Maybe every Friday night you treat yourself. So I'm not saying don't spend any money. Just make sure that it's within your means. All right, we can go to the next slide. So I kind of already talked about this, but if you're looking at a SMART goal, anything, whether you have your, exactly what I want to buy a house. What are you going to need? Is that in 5 years? Is that in 3 years? Make it specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. I say it's always good to have an emergency fund. These emergency fund and goals are really geared towards students, but emergency fund is expenses for 3 months. It's not $1,000. That's more for students because I like to be realistic about where they are. But I would say, have 3 months worth of savings saved up. And then your smart long-term goal would be something like, I want to save $100,000 to buy a house in 10 years. We can go to the next slide. All right, so I'm going to transition over to Diamond. Just know that products are there to help grow your money. And that doesn't mean necessarily touching retirement or touching investments or anything like that. But these are products that are everyday accessible, and Diamond's going to take over from here.
Thank you so much, Annie. Can you hear me? You did an excellent job. I just want to recap on a couple of things that you touched on that were really amazing. So, starting with the budget, anytime we save money, we have to or spend money. We want to make sure that we're very intentional. There is a psychological and an emotional connection to finance. Sometimes we impulse buy. Like, I love buying books. I'll spend so much money on Amazon just doing that. And so, just really keeping your goals at the forefront, delaying that instant gratification, being intentional about why you're spending. Is it something that you truly need? Do you need it right now? Can it wait, next year? Can it wait next week? So we can have plans for our calories. We want to lose weight. So we're like counting those things. We just want to be that same way with money. COVID, I feel like, opened our eyes up to a lot of different things with just taken for granted that we're going to have a paycheck the following week, and you might not. So we do want to be intentional with that cushion and that savings. And so when we think about that 50% need, that's your emergency fund. That's what you should be saving. People say emergency fund. Sometimes it's like, oh, if something happens to my car, which is true, or if something happens to, I don't know, I get in an accident and I need medical expenses. That's great. But then, God forbid, you don't have a job, not because you did anything wrong, but you closed down. And so you want to be able to have that 3 to 6 month of expenses just there for you. And so we have products that would be able to help you. So, as any institution does, they have the traditional savings, which is normally required to establish your membership. So, with CQ, ours is a $10 minimum deposit. It sits in there, establishes your membership. It doesn't move, it doesn't go anywhere. We do have money markets, and as you can see on the display there, it's the same rate as the savings accounts. Typically, money markets do have that higher interest, but with financial institutions, you have to decide, where do you want to put your focus? Do you want to put it more so in savings like a money market, or do you want to put it in that CD? And so for us, we chose the CD route. And so you see that the interest there starts to get a bit higher. And so one of our best rates that we have right now is that 9 month CD at 4.81%. So when we think about savings money that we just don't need right now, put it away. If you don't need it in the next 9 months, you don't need it in the next year, go ahead and lock that in and earn more money versus just, getting that 1 cent, 2 cent dividend that pops up, the first of the month. And you're like, oh, I got a penny or two, where you could really actually start seeing some dollars there. So I'm not sure if you all are already members with us, but if you are, I'm happy to talk more about that and help you start growing your funds on money that you might not be using. 70% of retirees would give one piece of advice to their younger selves: start saving earlier. It's funny, I've seen so many memes online, like, I should have started saving when I was 6. It is so true. And sometimes when we think of savings, it's like we have to put away $100 a paycheck or $200 a paycheck. Literally, $5 can go a long way. Imagine when you just don't have it. You might be in a paycheck to paycheck situation, and you're like, dang, like, I really need a sandwich right now. I gotta go swipe a credit card. When you could have had that $10 sitting aside, and that's part of your emergency when you don't know when your next dollar is going to come. And so there's never too little that you can save. A penny, we can go with coupons, go on Groupon. Maybe it's better to go traveling in a certain season. Maybe it's better to buy something during a certain time period. If a car, when they're ready to get rid of things on the lot, might be better to get that through January so they can bring in that new stock. So again, as I mentioned when I first started, just being intentional, save in any aspects, not necessarily putting money aside, but also making sure that you're not paying more for something than you would have to. Ready for the next slide? And so, yeah, right there, I mean, you can see if you start saving early, you will start seeing more of a return on your investment, because as we get closer to retirement age and we start looking at our options, imagine not saving at all. Some people are still working at 70, 75 years old. I see it all the time. And we ideally say, okay, we'll retire at 65. But as you start getting closer, you start realizing, I need money. The same lifestyle that you live now, I'm sure you would want to live more when you get to that point. So just start saving as soon as possible. We also have CQ financial partners. So we have alternatives outside of a standard savings account and outside of the CD. So if you are seeking to find different creative ways on how to save your money and make sure you have that cushion for when it's time to retire, we have professionals that can assist with that as well.
And we are having a plug. I'm just shameless plug. We are having a presentation with CQ Financial Partners. Even if you're enrolled in the pension or the TIAA or Fidelity, you can still also interact with CQ Financial Partners. That presentation is called Savings for Retirement: Strategies and Tools to Help Employees Effectively Save for Retirement, focusing on both short and long-term goals. And that will be in person on February 6th in, I believe, the UHR Chesapeake building. But I will make sure that this gets distributed, that invite gets distributed. That'll be coming out from Stacy Sims. So don't miss that one, because that's exactly what Diamond was just talking about. I also put CQ Financial Partners in the chat. If you want to direct connect, if you want to direct connect with CQ Financial Partners, Diamond's going to be your best resource to kind of refer and get you set up with our amazing team over there. And Diamond, there's a question. What happens once the CD term is over after 3 months or 9 months or 1 year? What happens?
That's a great question. That's really up to you, what you choose to do. If you do absolutely nothing, it will roll into the same term for the rate at that time. So rates do fluctuate. There's different things that happen in the market that can cause it to go up and it can cause it to go down. So let's say you have a 3 month CD and you decide not to touch it and the rates go down. You'll be locking in your money for 3 months for whatever the rate is at that time. If you decide, I actually see a different product where I can earn more money, then you can take that money out and change it over into that product. Or maybe you were saving for your dream vacation. And so that 3 months is up, and now you need that money to go to your vacation. And that was helping you earn a little extra more. So you would take it out and you would use it to spend. So really up to you, but those are your options.
Keep the questions coming.
Mhm.
And you don't actually have to even have an appointment to renew your CD or to roll it over. You can do that on our app. We have a really good app. I personally have moved some more of my money over to CQ, and I used to tell students, CQ's whole assets, which is 5 billion, is about this whole marketing budget of Capital One, right? So and I am a consumer of both. So I used to tell students a lot, well, Capital One's app is really good and da 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 da. I have actually really enjoyed the CQ app, and also connecting with our virtual financial center right from my phone has been a great benefit. So highly recommend for busy full-time workers. But that being said, I'm going to switch back to Diamond for our tools and resources because they're another best kept secret that I wish was not a secret.
Yeah, so definitely in the app as well, we do have budgeting apps. There are a lot of vendors and partners that we have that can help you with that. Online calculators. So if you're trying to figure out what your monthly payment is going to be on a vehicle that you want, if you're deciding, I want to lock my money in, but is this really the best choice for me? How much money would I really make if I lock my money in for X amount of time and I put this much in? You can kind of play around that before you make that type of decision. And then financial literacy courses. We do things like this all the time. If there's ever a topic that we don't touch on, if it's something that you want to know more about, we're happy to assist, pop up, and help because we're here for you. We're here to help you on your journey. I bank with probably like 6 other banks. Everyone has good features and good things, but I can't tell you any name that I know personally at any institution other than CQ. So we have that personal relationship there where you don't have to just go have your goals on your own. You can have professionals help you on that journey. And then CQ trained member advisors, like I said, all the financial institutions, our financial centers are great. I'm just telling you, virtual is top of the top. So I know you all are busy professionals. You have different things that you have to do. And so it might be after hours. The bank is closed. You're still at work. And so if you really need someone, you got to call in that 7 close to 8 o'clock hour. We're there for you.
I do want to also call out, I recently had a faculty member say, I'm old school. I use cash a lot. I don't want to join CQ because I can't get to the ATM. Credit unions are really nice to each other. We play really nice together. We partner together. Anytime you see something called All Point, so Walgreens, Targets, Costco, um, anywhere, those are surcharge-free ATMs that you can access. And so it says locate this map. Those are branches, but if you go on our website, even if you're in Denver, Colorado, you'll have an ATM that's surcharge-free. And then we have our virtual financial center. So even if you're in Europe traveling or in Asia traveling, you can connect with us. So just wanted to plug that. We also offer, Diamond, do you want to take this slide? We also offer our free virtual financial wellness checkups.
Yes. So that is something that We're really, really big on, so if you come in and you're like, I just kind of want to know where am I at with things. Just like you go to the doctor and you want to just get a physical, see what's going on, if everything's healthy and moving. Same with the finances, to make sure that you're on track with your goals. Tell us what your goals are. I want to buy a house by this age. I want to pay my debt off at this time. I want to have this much saved in retirement. We can let you know, hey, this is where you're at, and these are the types of things that you need to do to get there. It might not always be cutting expenses. It might be finding ways to make more money. Sometimes we try to live based off of expenses instead of being like, what do I need to do to get the life that I really want to live? And sometimes having that more money will get you there. Instead of playing safe, we're here again, we're here to help you think bigger. And so with that CD option, the more you put in there, the more return you can get. So when you're like, dang, I need $5,000, you can get $5,000 off of a CD. I literally have seen people be able to pay their rent off of payouts of CDs. If you have the money, lock it up. And then you're just making more money on top of that. But yeah, financial wellness check, very similar to a health check. Just seeing where you're at with things and making sure you don't get sick, you stay afloat. In whatever direction we need to turn, we'll make sure that happens.
And you don't even have to be a member to access one of those. But did want to just call this current new member offer just for our Maryland community. You are eligible to become a CQ member, get $350 in your account, and you get to choose from one of these cool debit cards, either a Terp script, which I'm a card carrying. I've got Terp script debit, and then I've got the M for a credit card that I have with CQ as well. New members only. You do need to sign up for e-statements. I think that's pretty much takes 2 seconds to do once you log into online banking, and then you'll do your 2 direct deposits of $500 or more. If anybody needs help or support with that, we can help you get your payroll set up, and we have forms that can help you with that. And yeah, so definitely take advantage of that. That is only until March 31st. And let me just tell you, these deposit offers over the summer, we probably won't have another one this high again for a long time. And everyone's, the feds have been lowering the interest rates. That's great if you're buying a home. That's not great for your savings products, right? And so maybe we'll have a CD campaign over the summer. So keep your eyes out. Read our emails, connect with us. I am very accessible. If you write to me and you're like, hey, I attended your presentation 7 months ago. What kind of offers do you have? I'll connect you with the right people, or I'll tell you what I know of, right? We can go to the next slide, but don't miss out. We're going to briefly talk about credit because I think this is a really important thing that a lot of times people ask me about. Credit building. How do I get to a good place? What can I do? Before I go into this, Diamond, can you give a quick pitch around Green Path, and if anybody is stressed about current credit situation, what kind of resources does CQ have for our members?
So just as I spoke on with the financial wellness check, we can just do an overview, but we do partner with Green Path, which is a nonprofit organization that can assist you. So if you are drowning in debt, if you are struggling, if you're like, I don't know how to get out of this. It does.
No.
Oh, I think she's muted. I can't hear her.
Yeah.
I think can you repeat that,
Oh my
Diamond?
goodness, yes, thank you. I'm over here passionate.
I know, and
But
this is so important. This is the best part of the presentation.
yes,
Real was like, wait,
wait, hold on.
go,
Thank you so
go.
much. Just like the financial wellness check, we can give you an overview, but if it's something that we aren't able to do, like I can't just pull your credit report, but GreenPath can. We partner with GreenPath, it's a nonprofit organization that is there to help you. If you are drowning in debt, if you don't know what to do, I've cut back my spending. I don't know how to like how to move my money, they will be able to help you and allow that stress to be released. I know money is a huge factor in all of our lives. It's one of the biggest stressors. So you'll have somebody there to help you through that path. So if you have any questions and are like, hey, You talked about Green Path. I want to get connected. We are more than happy to transfer you over there, and those professionals can assist you.
Absolutely. And they have all the, I mean, our member advisors also have a lot of ways to um, kind of counsel you, right? That's what we're here for. Diamond is my mom's banker. And that just goes to show like my mom is so, yeah, obviously so important to me. One of the special things about CQ is we want to make sure we're helping you, right? Um, we don't want to put you on hold for hours and hours with a situation where you're on a call center when you're dealing with debt, right? And it's snowballing and you're stressed and you're having to pick up extra shifts somewhere and you're already a professional, like you working full time and you have kids and daycare and how does it all work, right? These people have so many tips and tricks of how to get you where you need to go. Maybe it's, consolidating all your credit card debt and then moving into a different product or having a better rate for your current debt. And so just don't run away from it. That's so important. Many of us do, and it just gets worse, right? It's kind of like your health. You gotta nourish it. So anyway, credit, we all know pretty much. The credit score, it doesn't define you. It doesn't, it can be changed. It can be, and it's very complicated with the algorithm because you can pull from Vantage, you can pull from, there's so many now. We do use Equifax to pull. So if you're applying for auto loans, things like that, um, yes, do not run from it. Even if we don't want to deal with it. Equifax is a really, you know, it's probably Equifax, TransUnion, those are the ones I think that are the most like kind of reliable. Vantage is something that if you bank with Capital One, that is pulled and it's not really your credit report, right? It's just your score. And so your score is obviously this number that predicts how credit worthy you are to a lender, right? But it doesn't define you and it certainly doesn't dictate who you are as a human. So don't let it. The higher the score, the better you look to a borrower, which means you might get a better rate, right? So it is important. When I'm working with young people, I'm always telling them, think of it like a competition. So right now, I was so close to having a 750 score. It was like my life goal because I started in the gutter, guys. I had no one talked to me about money growing up. My parent, and also I didn't want my parents to talk to me about money. And so I've really had to dig myself out and figure things out for myself. I don't want anyone to feel alone in that, right? So, recently my score dipped because my credit utilization I used too much, right? So I paid off all my things and I'm like waiting. But I tell them it's like a game with yourself, right? How many steps can you get a day? How good can your credit score be? Every 12 months, check your score. And then I'm going to tell you all, because I think the majority of you are established professionals on this call, but freeze your credit when you're not using it. I don't know if Diamond wants to chime in. Freeze your credit. That's a great way to kind of help with your identity theft, things like that. However, if you know you're going to be applying for something, go ahead and unfreeze your credit. Whether that's a bank account, whether that's anything you're going to do with your money, unfreeze your credit for 24 hours and then freeze it back. Just don't forget to do that. I don't know if Diamond has thoughts on that. She might disagree.
Well, actually, I do agree with it. And it kind of
Okay.
goes hand in hand with what I talked about earlier with being disciplined. So if you're in the store and they're asking you to apply for the rewards card because you're going to save 10% on that purchase, and it might just sound so good, and you know you have to go through the hassle of calling to have that freeze removed, it might actually protect you and save you. Having a variety of credit is great. But sometimes having too much credit can bite you in the butt when you want to apply for something and we're like, you just have a lot of credit, like a lot going on. But yeah, it could definitely protect you if it's something that you know that you didn't apply for. You don't even have to worry about it because someone can't, it's frozen. Like you
Mhm.
know that something was applied for because of you and the steps that you had to take to unfreeze it. So I definitely agree with that.
Now, I will tell you, I had my credit frozen and I went to apply for a new auto loan and I got denied because I forgot that I had frozen it.
Yeah.
Who would I go to for that? Great question. You're going to go to the credit bureau, right? So you're going to go to either Equifax or TransUnion, and you do have to freeze both. Those are the most widely used credit reporting. But about 4 days, I would give yourself buffer because everybody moves slow. If you know you have and you're going to need access to getting approved for something, give yourself 3 to 4 days to unfreeze, if that makes sense, because you just don't want to risk being denied because your credit was frozen. Even if you're applying for a bank or a credit, not applying, but they're going to pull information about you. And if it says it's frozen, that's for a CD as well. That happens a lot. But if that does happen and you're working with CQ, reach out to me in Diamond or Rasha. We'll get you all squared away. But yeah, definitely look into that. That's a good one. We can go to the next slide. And you probably all know this, but can credit utilization, credit mix, this is types of loans, how much you're using, what do the loans look like? On average, you want to use 10% or less of your credit. I always tell everyone the biggest flex you can have in the credit game is not needing it, right? I'm approved for 100,000. I'm not even using it. I don't need it. Credit is not your money. I that's how I'm viewing it lately because I'm like around Christmas I got a little crazy with my and it affected my score, right? Because I was at 740, now I'm at like 720 and I'm annoyed because I was trying to get to 750. I was trying to like get this. But anyway, what did we say in our quiz? We said payment history. You miss one payment, that can stay on your credit report for up to 5 years. It probably won't. It's more like 2 years, but it can and it will. And that is annoying, right? So make it automatic. Same with savings. Make it automatic. Do not, auto pay. A new checking account affects credit too. No, it does not affect credit. Sorry, good question. But we do have something called check systems. We make sure that you're not in a fraudulent state with just, writing bad checks or having kind of like, some fraudulent activity in your background. So when we pull it, if your background is if your credit report is currently frozen, Diamond can probably speak to this a little bit better than me. It does affect if you can get membership. Is that right, Diamond?
If your credit's frozen, yeah, it could be a
Hmm.
little bit difficult to verify who you are if that is frozen. There are institutions that if you do open a new account, it will affect your credit, meaning it's a hard inquiry because even though you're getting a savings or a checking account and it's not a credit product, they want to see what can we try to offer you and get, but CQ does not pull your credit. So it does affect on our end. So if you come with us, we won't be doing any hard inquiries.
Yeah, and it won't affect your credit. But if you have frozen credit, sometimes it can delay your membership, if that makes sense. But anyway, just getting back to credit mix, that's, types of loans you have, that's 10% new credit. If you go to the mall, which nobody goes to anymore, I guess, and you open a bunch of store cards in one day, and then the next day you're like, I need a new car to CQ or to the lender, that looks like risky behavior, right? So it's like, oh goodness, why is this person like applying for so much credit in 48 hours? That's not good. The lender wants to know that you're cool, calm, collected, making good decisions in a good headspace. And so, first of all, don't use those store cards, okay? They carry very high APR. They have fees every year. Do not put them away. Get rid of that Target card. Don't ever use it again. Um, if you want really good credit card products for you, do your research. Be an informed consumer. The don't skim, read. What is the yearly maintenance fee? Ours is zero. Most credit unions, zero. Capital One, Chase, look at those benefits. Are you somebody who travels? You might want to chase Sapphire. If you're somebody who is diehard Southwest, maybe go get that Southwest card. If you're somebody who wants savings on everyday purchases, that's going to be CQ, right? So just do your research. Um, yeah, you don't want to use you want to make sure you're not using all the approved credit. We can go to the next slide. Any questions on credit? There's always a way out. Let me tell you, there's always a way to build. It might take a little bit of time, but here are some ways to do that, right? So first of all, budgeting, savings. We already talked about that. Make every payment on time, even pay before the statement balance. Consider using one card for every purchase and then pay it off every month if that's what you want to do. If you're in the credit card rewards and points game, I could do a whole presentation on that. Keep your balances low, pay your entire balance off, avoid the fees, avoid the interests, the interest rates, avoid high interest rates. Also, do not be afraid to call your financial institution and say, I'm going to close this if I don't have, if I still have to have a yearly fee. I guarantee you they'll get rid of it. Or I want to improve my credit score. I only have $3,000 on this one card. I'm going to call Chase or I'm going to call SECU and ask to be bumped up. You got to advocate for yourself out here. I know I wish you didn't, but you do. Check your score frequently. Make sure it's accurate. Pay off anything outstanding. And then look at credit building products. If you're new to the game, I love a secured Visa. It's your own money. I love a starter Visa. We have good products. Discover has a good starter credit card. All right, we can go to the next slide, and then we're going to take some questions if there are any. We've kind of talked about this, but I don't know if Diamond wants to take this last slide, but financial education is self-care.
Okay, yes, absolutely. So, yeah, practicing financial education is self-care. So, like I said, money is a huge stressor in your personal life, in relationships, especially when you have kids and you have real bills and things going on. And so, to take that load off, you want to plan. If you have a plan, that eases a lot of that stress. If you just don't know, you're kind of just going day to day and doing whatever, that's when that stress starts to come. So, create that emergency fund. We also offer additional savings accounts. So you might have your emergency fund that's good for your 50% needs. So like I said, if something happens, okay, for 6 months, I know my mortgage or rent is going to get paid. I know my car note's going to get paid. I know whatever I have to get paid is going to get done because I've built that emergency fund. But then you might be saving for vacation and you don't want that savings to be combined into one. You don't want to pull from that. So you can open up an additional savings account and name it vacation, or you can name it car repairs. And every month, maybe put $5 to $10 towards there. So you just have money for that separately and get educated. To Annie's point, read. There's something that I read in our disclosures for the credit cards that said that we can help with the deductible and the extended warranty on your phone plan. That's not something I knew. And so outside of that percentage that you can earn, when on your shopping, there's a lot of different things like for car rentals, it might help on vacations. We do have points where you can buy gift cards. And so money that you were going to spend anyway, you can earn money on that and then use it. Like if you don't have money to go get somebody a gift, use your points and get a gift card. Like we have those options. So just get educated on a variety of options versus the simple things that, checking, saving, credit card, car loan. Like there's a lot of different things when it comes to finances. And meet with the CQ financial, a CQ member advisor or a financial partner. Again, you don't have to do it alone. Do the research and get educated. Yes. You can cross-reference books, articles. There's a lot of articles that you can sign up for free that will give you financial tips, advice. If you're into investing in the market, hey, this is a good thing to invest in during this time. Might want to pull out on this. Even CQ has a blog, like they have on the website different articles that you can sit and read and get educated and learn, and advisors to help you with that as well. And build a budget, have a plan. Something that's really fun with savings, as boring as it could sound, is that 52-week challenge. On week 1, you save $1. On week 2, you save $2, all the way to 52. And I believe you have like over $1,300. You have no spending challenges. If you want to get your family and friends involved, okay, on Thursdays of the month of January, we're not going to spend any money. Hold each other accountable, like those fun, interesting, like creative type things. And so set your plan. Something that worked for me is if I know for my 20%, and the 50-30 20 is a guideline. Sometimes it might be way more than that. You might be 70, 20, 10. You might be, you know, 60, 20, 20. Like it really depends on your circumstance. So do what's best for you. But for me, if I know, okay, this month I don't want to spend any more than $200 on going out and having fun, I will withdraw $200 cash. When that cash is gone, that fun is gone. Sometimes it's hard to have that level of discipline when you have a card because you can swipe, swipe, swipe all day and don't even think about it. And so just having that plan and finding creative ways, you know your triggers. You know, sometimes if you go to the grocery store, you might go down aisles that have nothing to do with what's on your list. Like just be practice mindful, be present. Like I said, everything is a we move with emotion. We're humans. And so that goes into that self-care, that goes into that finance as well. And plan and save for retirement. The worst thing you could do is look up and say, "Oh my gosh, it's time. It's time to stop." And you can't stop because you still have bills. They don't go away. And so we want to make sure that you don't get to that point where you're just stuck having to do that. Some people love to work. I enjoy what I do. I love work. I don't plan to retire anytime soon, but sometimes you might be a little bit tired. So we want to give you those options as well. Start now, start saving.
I'm ready to retire. Just
It's
kidding.
time to meet with an advisor. I know, right? We need you. You're so great.
I'm just kidding. I've just been home with my kids since December 20th. But I did want to I agree with everything that Diamond said, of course. I also put two resources in the chat, how to place or lift a freeze on your credit, and then Open Lobby, which is part of our virtual financial center. It's always open, right? We've got Open Lobby, so it's a great way to connect with us. Lastly, this year we just partnered with Greenlight. If anybody on the call has children, I just signed up for it. It's awesome. It's a way to teach your children about financial responsibility, right? So you can link it to chores. They get little debit cards. My kids aren't using those cards because they're little, but it's ways instead of toys for holidays, deposit $20 into their Greenlight fund, right? I'm really trying to teach my kids healthy financial behavior because, like I said, I really didn't have that, and I think a lot of people didn't have that growing up, and it's daunting when you're trying to figure out student loan repayments. I've just graduated. Okay, everyone told me to go to college. I went to college. Then I just graduated. Now I've got student loan payments and I'm working full time. And then I'm supposed to buy a house. How am I going to do that? And I have no credit and my credit's bad and I didn't do anything right. And I have to find a career now. And it can really affect you, right? So I'm trying to set my kids up so that they feel empowered to make good decisions about themselves and their future. Anyway, that's my shameless plug. Greenlight is a great resource and tool. If you are a SECU member, you get it for free with no additional fee each year. It has been really fun for me to kind of figure out what should I teach them about. And if anybody's interested in hearing more about that, on February 12th, we'll be doing a virtual seminar with HR around setting your kids up for success. We can now, I think that's the last slide. Yeah. So we can take any questions if anybody has any questions. We're going to follow this up with my email, Diamond's email, Rash's